excited to see this map specifically. I wasn't expecting, usually with Swiss tournaments, the maps that are more suited to like higher levels of competitive play, usually those come in the later rounds. So seeing a map like Sinor this early, I mean, I'm stoked. Lots of good spaces to build around, lots of pre-existing hazards. This could be a banger. Milena, I think, looking to set up the perfect... Yeah, okay. Milena wanted to set up the perfect L-saw jump. Fisz sees it, does not want anything to do with that. When me and Fisz played, that, the perfect L-saw jump was more or less my only possible saving grace. Because I think he was not yet sure how to do it. So not surprised to see him counter-building against that one. Milena getting through, no problem. Fisz gonna be the same by the looks of it. There it is. Fisz wants to set up a squeeze. Get Flop in here. I'm sure he'd say that's no surprise. I will say I want to issue an apology to Fisz because I think the flopaganda if you will, I think the flopaganda got to me. Because I thought that Fisz was like a really one-dimensional player who just liked spamming one thing over and over again. That's what I was led to believe. I played against Fisz. I don't know what Flop is on. He's a very he's got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of things in his bag. That being said, he did set up a squeeze, so maybe Flop is cooking a bit. And wait a minute, 2 lives already gone. Fisz struggling a little bit with that jump height beneath the wire. Okay, wait. This could already be a point. Last life for Fisz. Now, I was talking about, wait a minute, Fisz. Okay. Milena off to an early lead. I was talking about these two being up-and-comers, but I will say Milena is 100% on my radar for someone I think is going to break into that top level of players pretty soon. I could see Milena winning a tournament in not that long. Because Milena's one of those players. She's been grinding challenge maps, and most of the time I see someone grinding challenge maps getting a lot of difficult completions. It's clear to me that they're going to get really good really fast. It happened with Bidoo, happened with Variety Bear, happened with Coldheart, happened with me. Like it happened with so many challenge mode players. It's definitely a trend to follow. We'll have to see. Milena, yeah, Milena not gonna let up. Recognizes that section has been really blessing her so far. Wow. Maybe there's not some warm up. Maybe the nerves are getting to him, but this is a little bit rough right now for Fisz. I know firsthand how good this guy is, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a turnaround soon. Milena, no problem getting through it. Fisz as well, holding on, not gonna let Milena take that 2-0 lead. Okay, I like it. Fisz, not the type of player to get into a disadvantage and kind of, hide in his shell. I like that he's still willing to be aggressive with that spring placement. That's the kind of thing you need. If you want to make a comeback in this game, you need to be willing to make plays that might feel risky. If the map isn't hard enough for your opponent to die on it with some relative consistency, you're probably not going to score. Both players really can't figure out what they want to be doing with this here. Kind of a nothing build there. Wow, Milena really, really not struggling with that. This spring setup's hard. Is Milena gonna opt for a slide off? Yeah, I don't think that's the play. Don't think that's the play. You know, one thing I absolutely love about Milena's rise to prominence as of late, we finally have someone who doesn't play horse, sheep, or bunny. You know, we have some oddballs here and there, but for the most part, like, top players really just play 3 characters. I'll say it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see a macaw in here. And Milena gets through. This very well could be a point. Fisz, one final opportunity. If Milena takes the 2-0 lead, I mean, this could be a slaughter. And he doesn't get the quick jump fast enough. That's going to be 2-0 for Milena. I mean, the way Milena is playing right now, like, I had high hopes for her coming into this. But now, I mean, Milena could win the whole thing. God damn. What's the plan with this spike ball? Can't decide on anything, but honestly, when you already have such an advantage like this, doing nothing is not necessarily a bad play. Really love that build by Fisz, though. Okay, Milena with an early death. Fisz, if he can set the pace here, if he can make it first, put the pressure onto Milena. And Fisz opting to try and do it the same way Milena failed with earlier. You really got to watch your opponent. That was valuable information that Fisz could have had if he had his eyes on Milena. That being said, he has another shot at it here. Still up to do it the same way. Not the play. I feel like wall jumping is the best way. I feel like a wall jump there off of the tire is gonna get it. Even so, you know, Fisz, 2 lives left. This could genuinely be a point. And yep, Fisz recognizes the wall jump. If you get that head bonk, I mean, it kind of sets itself up for you. Really unfortunate death right at the end there. Clock is ticking. I think there's still for sure enough time, but it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. Oh, jumps a little bit too high even. So still 2-0 for Milena. Interesting. Can I say, I love when I'm watching a set and people pick up the less conventional items. You know, I don't mind people taking spike balls, black holes, wires, you name it, whatever. But it's still fun to see when someone takes something that is not as conventionally strong. And honestly, I think that was a pretty good use of it, all things considered. Good enough that Fisz wanted to bomb it. So good stuff. I see a potential counter build. I feel like if you really want to skip out on that spring, you know, you have the mortar, you could have set up, definitely could have set up a wire crawl. Oh, wow. Okay, I feel like there's some new life that's, like, really breathed into Fisz here. I mean, there's still a little bit left. Definitely this is not free. But for a guy like Fisz, it's pretty easy, and he makes it. Milena has to get this setup that she has been struggling with. Clutch in her veins. Clutch in her veins. Struggling with it last 2-3 rounds, that's not going to be enough to slow Milena down here. Probably going to hold on to that 2-point advantage, and she is. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, Fisz really wants to force that half block precision. I think Milena just does not want anything to do with it. Rightfully so, you know, up 2 points. Do you want to introduce that kind of volatility? Looks like Fisz just might. Honestly, I really like what I'm seeing. You know, it was a rough start for Fisz, but he's still totally in this. He's been playing a lot better, definitely adapting, and I really like the level of building that I'm seeing coming from him. Still struggling with that quick jump though. You know, all this talk, you know, Fisz is adapting, but clearly Milena is too, because she is totally getting that spring setup now. Both of them, honestly. Okay, wait. Fisz dies near the end. Only 2 lives left. This could be the end. Can you hold on? Quick jump, been a problem for him so far. Clears it, no problem. He's got a good grasp on the spring. Can you hold it up? Yes, you can. We're in the home stretch. If Fisz is gonna hold on, this is it. Nicely done. Still definitely got a mountain to climb, but you can't, you know, you can't start that unless you stay in it. 4 rounds left, including this one. I can see a world. I can see a world. I see Milena's idea. That is hard though. Yeah, doesn't want to commit to it. Cannot blame her. The game is so different when you have a real advantage like this. Really, you're just trying to hold on. You don't need to make any big plays. I'm totally fine with this play. Unfortunate by Fisz. Milena makes it. The pressure's on. 3 lives left, but don't forget there is a timer, and this is a pretty long map. If you're dying to the setups near the end of the map, realistically, you're not going to have an opportunity to make use of all 4 of your lives. So you've got to make the play now. Fisz does get it. Hasn't had an issue with this mortar so far. It's still definitely a possibility. Anytime you get 2 cycles together, you know, anything can happen, but Fisz makes it through. 3 turns left. Milena really can't decide what she wants. Fisz, do it. I know you want to. The king of squeezes, make it happen. Milena's still really struggling to figure out what she wants to place. It's difficult. When you have the advantage, you know, this is definitely the type of game where you can press that advantage quite a bit. But it's also, you know, the inverse can be true sometimes, where it's difficult to know what you really want for holding on. Because on the one hand, you could just make the map so difficult that nobody scores. That's a common play. We see people do it all the time. But Fisz is looking really good right now. Making the level difficult, is that really what you want? But on the flip side, you know, if you make the map easy enough, then all it takes is a small mistake from you, and Fisz is making that comeback. So it's not an easy decision to make. People get a lot of flack for stalling all the time, but there is some genuine nuance to it. Fisz. Still 2 turns left. It is possible, but it's gonna be really difficult now, and that's only if Milena doesn't score right here, which it looks like she just might. She has not failed this yet. Let's see it. Good patience, waiting for a good cycle. And that does it. Milena 3-0 over Fisz. What a dominant display. I'm gonna be trying to watch as many Milena sets as I can for the rest of the tournament, because I think she has a real shot of winning this one. I am impressed. Good stuff to Milena.